What up guys, it's Valk here, bringing you another quick guide on Pharah. We're going to take a look at her Concussive Blast. It's based on E on the PC. This, along with her jump pack, is one of the most effective ways of getting out of trouble. It can help boost you into the action when you need it, and it can also earn you some incredibly awesome frags, which are infuriating for the other team. The self knockback is amazing with Pharah. The way you do this is you blast off walls and it'll push you into battle. But you have to be careful not to do it too close to a wall, otherwise you won't go anywhere. You have to ensure to have the right amount of distance away from the wall for the pushback to be effective. This is a route I regularly take on King's Row. You can see how quickly I get from the spawn point into action and back to the payload. If you're wondering about what is the right distance to use the Concussive Blast, on King's Row, there is a vent which you can use as a kind of like a measure. This is the right distance to be able to push yourself back from. Any closer and you won't go anywhere. You can also angle it down slightly to push yourself up rather than back. When you use Pharah's Concussive Blast, it has a 12-second cooldown, and this is a total waste of life if you're just trying to practice. So I've got a tip for you that you can use it instantly. We're going to set up a custom game. So go to play, and then custom game. Inside that, on the right hand side at the top, you'll find settings, and then scroll all the way down to ability modifier. Once you find this, you need to set it to 0%. Also ensure to turn skirmish only to on. Inside the custom game settings, you'll also find a whole host of other things, including turning on and off certain heroes, putting certain maps into rotation. There's a whole bunch of stuff, so I highly recommend to go and check it out. This is where you need to go if you're going to be setting up a 6v6 versus your friends. Here you can see the custom game with the ability modifier in action. It's really fun, and it's perfect for practicing. So what else is Pharah's Concussive Blast good for? One of the big things I use with her knockback is I knock myself back onto health packs when I'm low. I've been in situations where I've been on 1 HP and been able to use her E against the wall and knock me onto a 250 health pack, getting myself back to full heals. One thing that I love to do with Pharah's Concussive Blast is use it to get myself in position ready for her ultimate. As you might already know, Pharah's ultimate makes her stop in the middle of the air, so combining it with her E, blasting yourself and pressing Q will make you stop suddenly and start firing your ultimate. I've got a newfound love for knocking enemies off the side of maps. It's satisfying, it's totally satisfying, and I'm going to show you one of the most effective ways of doing it. So, as I pause the video, I've highlighted an area which is the safe area for knocking enemies back. Anywhere around this circle is most likely going to knock them off the edge of the map. Now, if I was to shoot the Concussive Blast between them, there's a very high chance that they're just going to go left and right and not go backwards. I wouldn't recommend shooting it too close to the enemy either, because it could just make them bounce up a little bit. Oh man, so satisfying. Look at each map and find opportunities in which you can utilize your Concussive Blast. It can really save your team. Lijiang Tower Garden is an amazing one because of the bridges that cross into the point. You can knock so many people off that. This one time, Azaria went over 3 times and I knocked her in 3 times. She just didn't learn. Let's take a look at advanced Concussive Blast techniques. These are techniques that I use in my games and have found work very well. Okay, so the way we've got to think about this is that we're lining ourselves up for our next shot. Putting down the Concussive Blast next to an enemy is going to make them go left, right, backwards, or forwards. What you have to understand is where will they end up after they've finished bouncing around. If you can work this out and you know how far they're going to go, you can put a rocket in as a Pharah ready to collide as they're about to land. With enough practice, you're guaranteed to get yourself some direct hits. You can also do this on targets which are stationary. You can blast off a wall, and if you know where the target is, you can practice to get rockets directly onto them. For example, in this video with Widowmaker, you can see on Hanamura, I come round into the doorway, I blast up using my jump pack, use E against the wall, my Concussive Blast, and I land a rocket directly onto the Widowmaker. I've done this plenty of times in games, and it's one of the ways I deal with them. This was a requested video for me to make, and hopefully you've learned something from it. If you have enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you really want to.